gathering, great gathering. Organised by myself. Organised by Rennie. Just the other day. And Octavia, this lady gets from Octavia.
Hello, I'm here.
How do you do?
Thank you so much for being here today. Great to see you.
I hope not.
No, 11:30 we're going to do the introduction.
I was early.
And then you're going to do the unveiling after NUBIAN Jack has spoken.
Right. Okay, bye.
And then you can unveil it.
Oh, hi. How are you? Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Okay.
And the mayor will take you where they'll do.
Okay, very good.
Thank you so much.
So we're just going to formally start, yeah? Okay.
Hello, I'm Rena.
Oh, how do you do?
Okay, we're actually going to speak from up here, maybe. So there's a kind of bit of a platform.
2 steps will do, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here today to attend this historic unveiling. We've chosen the day, the 5th of November, because the person that we are honouring had a life of fireworks. Right. I'm delighted to be involved in this project, and particularly this project would not have happened without the support of the Octavia Foundation, ladies and gentlemen. So before we start, can we give them a big round of applause? Absolutely. Basically, the project is to honour 4 hidden heroines, okay, one of which is Amy Ashwood Garvey. Now, to just tell you a little bit about this young lady, she came to London in 1922. She was, of course, the first wife of Marcus Garvey. Now, most of us know Marcus Garvey as a giant statesman who probably did more than anybody in terms of civil rights and certainly black self-pride and self-esteem. Well, she was his first wife, and this lady was an extraordinary woman. I mean, together, when he first met her, he says, "I found my Josephine." To give you some idea of this woman, she's privately educated. She leaves school at 16, and she's doing a debate. She's joining a debating club, and in 1914, in walks Marcus Messiah Garvey, and with the typical tact of the man, he says, "You're going to be my wife." And oddly enough, 6 years later, they marry. They marry in what was one of the largest black proper ceremonies, civil ceremonies. What's going on, Jack? Ceremonies in a pre-war history. Unfortunately, 3 years later, as I said, typical of the woman, they are divorced. But not, of course, until she goes around the world and creates a phenomenon. She is arguably the most charismatic pre-war leader in Britain. She comes here in 1934, this is London for the second time, and she buys this house in 1934, and she stays here until 1960. But that's not before it becomes a hospice for young women, a refuge for African students, and now a heritage site for West London. So I'm particularly honoured to have you witness this historic unveiling, and I would like to now invite the chairman of the partnership organisation, Octavia Foundation, and Rena. Rena, even. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Jack. I'm actually the director of the Octavia Foundation, not the chair, but the Octavia Foundation is absolutely delighted to support the unveiling of this plaque today. Amy Ashwood Garvey was a feminist and a campaigner. She had a global and a local impact. And as we're a charity that is based locally, we want to build strong and thriving communities, it's absolutely appropriate that we want to support this unveiling of the plaque. We work with people of all ages, from people who are from 7 to 70 plus, but in particular we work a lot with young people. We provide opportunities for young people to learn skills, gain jobs, or simply have fun. And today you will see in the corner here some young people who are filming this event. Can we just all give a hand of applause to our young filmmakers? These young people are part of a group of 20 young people who are working with us to make 4 films. The films are part of a project called Hidden Her Stories, Women of Change, and they're about 4 women who all had an impact for the local community, but about whom little is known. And Amy Ashwood Garvey is one of those women. Now, making this film, the young people uncovered some really interesting facts about Amy Ashwood Garvey. She was an entrepreneur. She ran a club in Carnaby Street. She was a feminist. She was a Pan-Africanist. She believed in the local community. She chaired the inquiry into race relations following the racist murder of Kelso Cochrane. She ran a hostel for African Caribbean women here. So her impact is not only felt globally, but it's also felt locally, which is why it's so important for us to support this project with Jack. She was really a truly inspirational person. Her legacy as a feminist, a Pan-Africanist and as a community activist is absolutely immense. Today we consider Ladbroke Grove, just down the road, as a model of cultural diversity, a centre for artistic excellence. What we don't realise, and what the young people have got to realise, is that the contribution that Amy Ashwood Garvey, Claudia Jones and others make has paved the way for Ladbroke Grove today. So through the plaque that's going to be unveiled later on, the films that are going to be made, and the young people are also working on a magazine, and that's all going to be launched in March 2010, next year. Amy Ashwood Garvey's legacy will be for everybody to see, and in particular for young people. And we're absolutely delighted to have played our part. Finally, I'd just like to say a couple of thank yous. Thank you to Jack, who's put this wonderful event together, and to this plaque. Thank you to all our eminent guest speakers who are going to be speaking. Thank you to History Talk, and in particular Colin Prescott. And finally, thank you to the residents of 1 Bassett Road who've given their blessing for this, and the landlords, Wenlock Taylor. We do have a reception afterwards at the Fat Badger on the corner of Portobello Road and Goldbourne Road, to which everybody is welcome. So hope to see you there afterwards. I'd like to hand back to Jack. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Renee. Before I invite Rena, sorry to interrupt. Before I invite the Mayor of the Borough to give us an introduction, I would like to invite the Jamaican government's representative in England, the Right Honourable Bertrand Whiteman, ladies and gentlemen.
Worshipful Mayor, Chairman and Director of the Foundation, and friends all. I thought I was simply coming here to do the important thing of pulling a curtain cord, but it's a pleasure for me to congratulate the association and the organisation on doing this. Not just for the community, but for the country, because this is one of the ways in which we build that cohesion of which you spoke so eloquently a short while ago. Recognizing all the elements of our past, recognizing the contribution of all who have made the society what it is today, recognizing the importance of those who ensure that we have the freedoms we enjoy today. So for all of those reasons, I'm very happy to be here. And Nubian Jack, thanks again for persevering with this project of yours to ensure that people of colour are recognised for what they have done. It gives me very great pleasure to be here, and just to bring in a little parochial word, the influence of Amy Ashwood Garvey was also felt in Jamaica, which is really the country of her birth, because long before the modern political movement, way back in the 1920s, she was agitating for some of the very things, the very elements of our Constitution, which are alive in the Constitution today. She was after rights, she was after recognition of equality issues, which, believe it or not, were not always present in colonial societies. So we, from the Caribbean and from Jamaica, also applaud Amy Ashwood Garvey and thank you for recognizing her in this way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now can we please, ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to the Borough's representative, the Mayor, the Right Honourable Councillor Timothy Coleridge. Thank you.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me on behalf of the Borough to come this morning. It's always very special, you know, when the Borough comes together to celebrate somebody who's done something outstanding.